Carice here from Hot 702.5 FM in Las Vegas. Get ready to experience basketball like never before. The historic National Pro-Am Championship Tournament, hosted by Delaware Sports Foundation and the HBCU Basketball Association, is taking center stage at the Doolittle Community Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, from April 25th through the 28th in 2024. It's more than just a tournament. It's a basketball extravaganza. Witness top-tier athletes, electrifying matchups, and slam dunk moments that will leave you breathless. Come see who will take home the trophy and first place prize of $100,000. But that's not all. We're shining a spotlight on small businesses. If you are a local business looking for exposure, seize this opportunity to be featured with our TV partners. Email chbcuba.com and ashaw@thehbcuba.com, and let your business shine alongside the thrilling basketball action. Save the dates and join us for an unforgettable experience. The National City Leads Pro-Am Championship, where the love for basketball meets the pulse of the city. Don't just hear about it, be a part of it. April 25th through the 28th, 2024 at the Doolittle Community Center. Visit hbcuba.com to get your tickets now and let the excitement begin.
Hi. Hey.
What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On Hot 702.5fm.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Karen Avenue, Suite B209, give them a call, 702-900-4335, or reach them at thescificenter.com. What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located
Brick, good to see you, home girl, in this thing. You're in this thing like a wedgie, baby. That's how we do it. That's how we call it. We here on hot7025fm.com and right there on _360 the poet, and right here on the same two things and on Will 360 Taylor. So it's some things going on in my ear, but over here we still rocking and rolling. What's up, Lucy Lowe? How you doing over here, girl? You chilling and popping? All I know is it's probably this thing right here doing this thing. Just like there it is. We back like a pot of cooked crack. What up, sweet tooth truck? What's going on with you, Reen? What's going on, Miss Mahogany? Everybody popping in this thing, saying what's happening. As always, it's good to see y'all popping up in my face right here on hot7025fm.com and on Instagram and Facebook. So what we doing out there? What y'all doing? Where y'all at? And where y'all at? What y'all doing? Okay, let me move the microphone away from my face. I'll take that too, because I don't really like things dangling in my face like that. Inskew. You know, no Diddy. You know how we call it, no Diddy. You know how they used to say all them things. No Diddy. But yeah, so we in here. What's happening, y'all? So it's another Wednesday. We always got some topics that people want to talk about because, people got kids, people got family, all those things, and people got questions. And so anytime y'all need to hit me with a question, you already know what to do. Hit me at holla@thehomie@gmail.com. It is a tongue twister, Kareem. Hit me at holla@thehomie@gmail.com. That's HOLLAATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. So what's up, y'all? We gonna, as always, I like to give my disclaimer, let y'all know that I've never been trained in any psychiatry, never been to school for any psychology or psychiatry or counseling, never paid any tuition for any of the previously mentioned disciplines. But what I have done is I've lived a life, y'all, a life that's been colorful, filled with a lot of adventure, and if I'm not living the life, I've been close enough to somebody else to vicariously live it through them and sponge up some of their game so I can squeeze it back out over the airwaves to y'all. So There we go. Now we talking. Now we talking like grown-ass people. All right, so we got a good letter today, y'all. Anybody that's got kids or anybody that's been the kid or of a parent that you lived under their roof and, things ain't always seen eye to eye. What's up, Dakarai? See how that rhyme right on time. You've been underneath your parents' roof and things wasn't really going as smooth as you wish they would have been and stuff like that. So, things may have come to a head, as they say, right? So with that being said, our writer today sent us a letter that really touched a few of my heartstrings, and they may touch some of yours as well, because it may hit close to home based on, your dynamic with your children, if they old enough to even fit this criteria. Y'all know I'm a granddaddy, so I got kids older than people's kids, and I got kids older than people's kids. So don't put me in the same category and boat with you just because your kids ain't old enough to have gone through this. Tell me what you think if there was your kids and they were going through this, if they were old enough to kind of put you this, or you may have been that child that may be similar to the one we talking about in today's letter. So, I'm out here thinking I'm cute and I ain't got my contacts in. I got my contacts in, so I had no glasses. But the dumbest thing, y'all know how it is. You always got to wear glasses when you got contacts, especially if you need some readers. So I'm going to pop these on. We're going to read today's letter. So it goes a little something like this. Dear Holla at the Homie, I'm writing you this letter for your advice on what to do about my daughter, who I feel has come to a point in her life where she feels as if she's outgrown any advice from me as her mom. I know there's always a time when children start to think, in air quotes, think that they are grown, but this has gone way beyond that. First of all, she is a 24-year-old recent college graduate, and after living on her own as an RA, resident assistant in her university's campus off-campus apartments, she has been what she calls forced back into my home. So let me go back and reread that. She said, after living on her own as an RA, a resident assistant in her university's off-campus apartments, she has been, as she calls it, forced back into my home. So where she treats me as if I'm her warden and she's a prisoner in what I consider our home. She has even gone as far as calling me the warden when she's on the phone with her little friends. Now, I'm trying to be as understanding as I possibly can, but she needs to understand that. Yes, this is my house. I do have rules, and there are certain ways that my house is going to continue to run the way it did in her absence while she was away at school. If she were my son or if she were a man, I wouldn't feel bad about saying, if you don't like my rules, then feel free to get out and get your own place, and you won't have to follow them. But she wasn't born a boy, so I don't feel as comfortable sending my 24-year-old out in the world just yet. So my question to you is this, homie. Am I being soft and overprotective of my daughter by allowing her to act the way she is and just brush it off? Or should I treat her the same as I would if she were a son and exhibit tough love while hoping and praying that she has what it takes to make it in today's world? Your advice would be greatly appreciated. I look forward to hearing your response. Sincerely, Mother Hen. Mother Hen, Mother Hen, Mother Hen, Mother Hen. What's up, Yahari? What's going on with you? But yeah, so Mother Hen, you done dropped the load on me right there. I'm going to let you know that, Mother Hen, because this is a question that I wonder that if my mama felt at one point, when I was fresh out of school and living under her roof. And, I think I stretched that to this fullest possibility. I was paying some money, stuff like that, but still I wasn't paying the whole mortgage and the other bills. You understand what I'm saying? You say she being soft as Charmin Dak? Hey. Again, I love all these different perspectives. I have to wonder, did I ever push my mom? I wish she was tuned in today, but I don't think she do social media anymore. I wish she was tuned in today. I wonder did I ever push her to the limits, And if she ever felt this way about me. So that allowed me to kind of dive into this, as I always like to do. I like to be angels and devil's advocate and give both sides and perspective on what I feel, how, again, I never tell you what to do. I just give you information on what I feel can be done, right? So with that being said, we got to go straight into it. And first, I want to welcome you to another episode, because this is what we do here. We handle questions like this, like Mother Hen. For those of you who are just tuning in, Mother Hen has hit us with a question, and she's asking, is she being too soft by allowing her daughter to act kind of out of pocket as far as like pushing her in regards to her rules and regulations, but she lives under her roof, and she's only been there for, some months after being on her own for some years. would you say, Carmen, you say kindly help them find a place of their own. See, that's another perspective of it. You know, you can help them find another place of their own. That way you feel comfortable in the area in which they live. But then you got to think about, like, because my only rule, like when my kids lived under my roof as adults, is ain't nobody smashing in my house but me. That's all I'm going to say. Ain't nobody smashing in my house but me. I don't care how old you are as my child. Ain't nobody smashing in my house but me. I'm sorry about that. You know what I mean? Even though, like, growing up, I had, friend girls whose mama would let me be all over their crib, spending the night and everything. Like, and I knew she knew I knew they knew I was smashing. But me, and that's why I'm so adamant about ain't nobody smashing in my house but me. So that's kind of like my only real rule. Like, of course, don't be leaving no lights on and stuff like that. I'll put the power bill on your ass. Yep, What'd you say, Dak? If you don't like your cell, you can leave the warden's facility anytime. And that's that tough love. What'd you say, Miss Mahogany? Kids think once they become of age, they become their parents' equal. That's what I wanted to tap into there, Miss Mahogany. Kids think that they become the equal of their parents just because they hit a certain age. And what you say, Ray Butler? Tell them the reason why the rules exist. And that's another thing. Have a conversation. Then what you say, Mrs. Banks? You say you are a senior citizen without saying you're a senior citizen. Yeah, that's me. I'm a senior citizen. I'm AARP, baby. But like, that's the thing. Like, Ray, you do got to tell them the reason why the rules exist. You know what I mean? You say smash and clean and all that. My rules is my rules. Find your house and have your own rules. And that's it. And that's kind of what it comes down to in a sense, right? I appreciate this young lady. I'm going to call her a young lady because she's younger than I am. I saw her. She tuned in already. I appreciate you for seeking me for guidance, right? Because that make me feel good, because you know that I've been in situations like this and you kind of want to figure out how I went about it. Would you say, so if your 30-year-old and their wife are staying with you at your home that to be built, they can't smash at the house? No, they cannot. I don't care if that's your spouse. This my house. And ain't nobody smashing in my house but me. So if you waiting on your house to be built, then then call it like your celibate phase again. You say, how are we talking? Because we are not in the 70s anymore. I mean, I get that we're not in the 70s anymore. You know what I mean? But that's one thing that, you know what I mean? That's when kids think they really your equal. You know what I mean? They really think they're your equal. If they can get a chance to smash in your, and don't get me wrong, like, I don't want them having to sneak and do no weird-ish, anything like that. But at the same time, like, this is where your grown-up decisions come into play. Like, you have to be willing to say, okay, you know what? My daddy don't want us smashing in the crib, so we either gotta, feel like teenagers and get it in the car, or we gotta, like, go get us a little spot somewhere, or, you know what I mean? Like, Don't think you just about to get no free freaking on my dime. I'm not rocking with it. And the thing about it is I'm such a hypocrite because I know my mama know that I was smashing in her house. I know she knows that. So, but that's what makes me feel like I don't want nobody to feel that way about, that they got that full run, Would you say need some Gen Zers to give some of this some feedback because, geez, and I get it, What's up, Callie babe? That's my little cousin on this thing. You know what I mean? And that's my whole thing. Like, she a Gen Zer. What you think about that, Deja? If you live under your mama's roof and she say, you good? It just ain't no smashing underneath my roof. That was my only rule. Like, that was really my only rule. If you drink all the milk, buy some more milk. I ain't putting no name on anything because that's foolish. You pretty much got full run of the crib. Like, real spit. Like, you got the security code. You got everything, pretty much. You know where the straps is at. Like, 'cause you my kid. I need you to know how to protect home. You know how to get, you know how to get to whatever need to be gotten to in case some stuff go down. So you know everything about the crib. But one thing you do know for sure is you not smashing in my crib. I'm sorry. Now, if I came to stay with you as a parent and you in your crib, I ain't got no say. I have no say. You say, why is smashing such an issue for you? You feel that way if it was if it was my son. Yes, I would still feel that way if it's my son. He lived with me as an adult for a brief moment. Like, couple weeks, you ain't smashing in my house. No, you're not. I don't care. And people may be like, what? Not even your son? No, not even my son. What up, Classic Jewel? Rome in the building. You say, so they can shoot your gun, but not shoot up the club with their wife. Absolutely. Under my roof? No. No. You can. So I'm telling you, you know where everything else is in my house. Like I say, you know where the safe code is. You know where all that is. If you living with me. Once you leave, I'm changing all that ish. You know, I just need you to know where it's at just in case I need you to get to it while I'm gone. What'd you say? Who want to hear their kid getting their cheeks smacked by accident? Get a room. Exactly, Keith Monique. Exactly. Who want to hear their kids get 21 or older or nothing? But facts. Who want to hear their kid getting their cheeks beat? Just think about that. She in there calling him daddy, but you're her real daddy in the living room. How does that make sense? How is that okay? It's not. With me. With me. I'm about to pull a kick dough. Lay down. You know what I mean? Nah. Kick it in the dough, wave it in the fo-fo. No. Nah. Think I'll be playing if they want to. You'll find out. You'll find out. No bueno. Exactly right. No bueno. Nope, exactly. Ain't no smashing in my house. If you that grown, go get your own to get your freak on. No, you not smashing in my house. No. I don't care if it's freezing winter outside. I mean, you can sneak it. I'm not saying you ain't gonna be able to sneak it, because nobody knows when the nose goes when the doors close. You can sneak it, but just know you in violation. Would you say these are the type of parents that have estranged children? No one is going to be making all that noise with their parents in the house. That's wild. But that's the thing. That's the thing. People get out of pocket. When they think that they equal and they think, well, you been letting me, smash this all this other time just because such and such wasn't laying it down like such and such is. I wasn't making that noise before. No, that's where I draw the line. That's just where I draw the line. Everybody welcome to run your household how you want to with your kids. How you want to with your kids, but they got to understand why that rule applies, because that's my only rule. Besides the ones they grew up with, like don't steal from me and don't lie on me. Because I'm pretty sure you ain't told me all truths. Just don't lie on me and don't steal from me. Everything else, and there ain't no smashing in my house. Everything else is no holds barred. Do what you want to do. What's up, Greg Gerard? What's buzzing with you, pimping? 217 stand up. But that's my thing, though. Like, that's my only take on it. You know what I mean? I understand, like, kids and that's when they say they get to this point where they feel like I'm grown. Yeah, you are grown. You are an adult is what I say. But grown, in the word grown, it's another word inside it, and it's own. That means you got your own. When you can't consider yourself grown until you get right with your own. That's what grown means. You got right and got your own. GROWN. Get right and get your own. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to treat you like less than adult. I'm not going to treat you like less than an adult. What's going on, Morgan Twin? I'm not going to treat you like less than an adult. I'm never going to talk down to you or anything like that. You're going to get respect as an adult. But at the same time, it's just like if you somewhere else, like you ain't going, it's like being at work. You may have full range of your job, but I bet your CEO don't give you the green light to smash on your desk. You said we are talking about grown children you as a parent raise. Y'all have to relax. Although I have never, I know that if my husband and I stayed in my mother-in-law's house, smashing isn't an issue. We are very grown adults. And again, like I say, you don't have to live in fear about it. Again, like I said, you more than likely probably gonna sneak it anyway. because you feeling like you grown, but that's just a rule I got. Just know you in violation. You're in violation. And if if it happens to spill over and that comes across my ears and I hear it, then I'm gonna say something. Now, I may not interrupt. I may not. Then again, I may. Depending on how violated I feel. You in my house. There's certain thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm this goes without saying. You can't hustle out my house unless I'm reaping some benefits from it. So the certain things you already know off top you can't do in my house. You can't turn my house into the block. Nah. But your homies can come kick it. And yes, I am saying that I'm not saying it's okay as long as I don't hear it. I'm saying you can get away with it as long as I don't hear it. That's, you know what I'm saying? Again, nobody knows where the nose goes when the doors close anyway. So I'm just saying you not in violation as according to me if I don't hear it. If I hear it, you in violation. That's all I'm saying. Again, I'm going to treat you like an adult. I'm never going to treat you like a kid once you reach adult age. But don't be acting like if you living underneath my roof, it's an establishment. Not we roommates and we went and got some property together and we went half on this ish. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about you come be like, yo, dad, yo, pops, I need to stay here with you. Is it cool? Yeah, it's cool. Can my girl come? Yeah, but ain't no smashing in my house. See, I better go to the car. Hope you got tents. You know what I mean? Hope you got tents. Or you better be a secret lover. You better keep it secret. Keep it on the shh. Hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, if you know, hey, ain't nothing wrong. And that, think about it though. Cause morning sex ain't a whole lot involved in that. So you better be doing it in the mornings. Get it in the morning. Morning sex ain't a whole lot involved in that. That's just a little lift of the leg and let's lay here and we gonna do our thing. You gonna move your hips and I'm gonna move mine until everybody good. So we ain't gotta make no noise. So again, you can get away with that because I don't hear it. Exactly, J. Morgan Griffin. Quiet on the set. Would you say they want all the liberties with a little bit of responsibility? Exactly, Miss Mahogany. You know, now if I say, well, go and pay this mortgage, then you want to be if your sex is worth something, pay this mortgage. And I ain't talking about 1 month. I'm talking about go ahead and pay off 6 of them. Then pay a half a year off. Then you can get your freak on. Get your freak on. Because if that's the case, I'm gonna use that to go Airbnb somewhere anyway. You feel me? Or use my money to go Airbnb and let yours be the mortgage pay. Then you get your freak on. I ain't even on the set. You know what I mean? Like, you know, but you know, not to get caught up in how I would feel, you know, again, because I never tell people what to do. I'm just telling y'all the options of what can be done. Like, you know, yeah, I am. I'm stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I know you want to be supportive of your daughter. Let's get back to Mother Hen. Mother Hen, I know you want to be supportive of your daughter, right? Like, and I know you want to be able to set some boundaries all at the same time. So the key is trying to find that middle ground in between. You know, because again, like if you're not willing to, cut the reins, snip the reins on your daughter and let her kind of fly on her own while giving her an assist. Like, you know, like somebody said, like Carmen said a little earlier, she said, kindly help them find their own place. You know what I mean? Like she said, kindly, because, you know, after kindly, it come through now, you better watch your mouth type, you know what I mean? Type of thing. You know, you don't want it to get to that. You want to be able to let them feel comfortable because in a lot of cultures, people's parents come to live with them later on in life, right? So in preparation for that, then people have already gotten these type of ideas and understandings taken care of, right? So my thing about it is like, it may be a cultural thing. It may be something along the lines of like, me just being understanding of, because my biggest thing is I know what I was doing when the parents knew that I was in there doing what I was doing. Would you say Valerie Lathan? And would you say, Auntie, get them some luggage and open the door? Tell them rulers live outdoors. The rulers live outdoors. My auntie said the rulers people live outdoors. And that's my only thing though. Like you gotta, if you don't want to be overprotective, but you don't want to be, like just an asshole to your kids either. Like, well, get your ass out. Like you don't want to do them like that. Because then they're it's them against the world and you part of the world. Because you want them to feel like you a part of every move that they making and the decisions that they making, and you support their decisions that they're making because that'll help them be more confident in the decisions that they're making, right? So with that, you want to make sure you communicate with them and talk to them about why these rules occur, like Ray Butler was saying earlier. Like these rules occur because of this. And I don't want you to feel like you think that you have to buck the system because like she said, her daughter's fresh off of living on her own for years, being a resident assistant, an RA in her college, in the off-campus apartment. So it wasn't like she was like an RA in the dorms. She was an RA in the off-campus apartment. So that really made her feel like she was an apartment manager, basically. So she may be really smelling herself and feeling real grown. If you ever been to like off-campus apartments, run still by the university, but allowing that allows the kid to get some money, some work study, all that kind of stuff. So she's been actually paying her way in a lot of ways with her being able to live on her own. So now you got to think about that and digest the fact that, okay, she's only been back for a few months, like 8 months is what you said, right? About 8 months she's been back at the crib. So she hasn't really gotten used to, she was away from the crib longer than she's been back in the crib, So she's been away from home longer than she's been back at home. So now it takes a while to redigest how the hierarchies or how the rules apply because she's been following and living by her own rules for the last few years. You said she's been an RA for what, 2 years, 3 years? Is after living on her own as years as an RA. So I would say at least 2 because you put an S on the end of it as years. Like you got to understand that sometimes people get in their ways. They get set in their ways. And that's basically what your daughter has done. And you're stuck between wanting to support her and wanting to maintain a sense of authority in your own home. Would you say, Val? It was exactly. It probably was, ain't it? It probably was the same rules when she left. It might have been them rules probably that applied when she left, and she probably thinking now that she back home that I'm grown. Maybe my mama see that I'm an adult now, and she know how well I've been taking care of myself. She's come to visit me in my dormitory apartment or my off-campus apartment, so she sees how I've been able to maintain and things of that nature. So I get that. I understand that completely. The fact that, she may be set in her new ways and now her and her mama got to come to some understanding, right? So, the thing with setting boundaries is, don't equate it to being like soft or even just cooperative with your daughter. Like, a lot of people are like, well, I ain't your friend. You got your own friends. And however you want to look at it, like, don't get me wrong. I like to have a friendship with my children, but don't talk to me and don't play with me like I'm one of your friends. That's the difference. Like, yes, we have a firm friendship outside of our parent, child relationship, parent offspring relationship, because I don't want to call them children because they grown as hell now, but they still understand that these rules applied before they left my home. Or these rules applied in whatever home they left and were in before. That's what people don't get. What'd you say, Ray Butler? Get your authority back. Parents need to remain parents, not roommates. And that's it. That's what I'm saying. Like, setting those boundaries should not feel like you being soft. You should feel like you being a parent. Would you say, not to rub no one the wrong way, but maybe the owner hates their kids and maybe their owner hates their kid is getting some action, playing devil's advocate, and that's understandable too. Maybe, maybe that my kid might be smashing more than me, and maybe subconsciously I don't want that to be. Would you say your dad always said he wasn't your friend? And that's the thing. Like, my mama told me that a long time ago. Like, yeah, we can have fun, we can play around, we can laugh and joke, but I'm not one of your friends. I'm not one of your friends. Meaning, like, yeah, I'm not one of your friends out in the street. That she never said that we didn't have a friendship. She just said, well, I'm not one of your friends. So that's what I took it as we have an amazing friendship. Me and my mom, me and my children, we have amazing friendships, but they know that I'm not one of their friends. So what they do with them don't apply with me. You have to maintain that in order. And it's not about a power trip or a hierarchy. I know I said that word earlier, but to me, it's not about a hierarchy. It's just about a respect factor. Because once people feel like they can disrespect you, no matter who it is, whether it be your children, whether it be, people at work, whoever it may be, once they feel they can get away with disrespecting you, then it'll continue. Exactly, one of your little friends. What'd you say, Dakar? You say, so when I get home to visit my mom's and I stay with her, same rules as when I was in high school. The only rule that been lifted is curfew. Exactly. Now, you can come and go. You got the key. You got the code. Like, come and go as you please. Just, if you know I'm asleep, bring your tail in here quietly. Don't come in here with any form of disrespecting of any type. That's what I'm saying it as. Like, the moment people feel they can get away with the slightest bit of disrespect is they going to push the needle. Would you say there, Mrs. Banks? We have to evaluate the I'm not one of your friends statement and see how that's working for y'all now. With me, it's working great because that established a boundary between my mom and I. Because, again, like I say, she never said that we not friends. She said, I'm not one of your little friends. Meaning she may say it as she may be saying I'm your best friend, but I'm not one of your little friends. Exactly. With respect towards parents is left when this happens. And this is the truth. And that's the thing. Like, when you start to treat people as equal as who you are, there's no differentiation between where y'all stand in each other's lives. Because if everybody's equal, then where do we stand with one another? How do you know what to feel if everybody is treated the same by everybody? Yeah, we would love for all men are created equal. We should all be treated equal. How is that going to possibly happen when we're not the same? Fairness, equality are two different things. Fairness and equality are two different things. You say sound like a control issue, not a respect issue. Potato is what I would say to that. It's not a control issue. Respect is a thing. It's got to go two ways. Exactly. How we got teachers, if everybody the teacher, who's the students? Great point, Ray Butler. At 44, I can still respect my parents and still be intimate with my husband in their home discreetly. Again, that's a possibility. And again, I'm not knocking anybody for what they choose to do. I'm just saying that my children have an understanding that, yeah, you can sneak and freak, but you're in violation underneath what we've established as our parent and offspring under my roof relationship. Again, if I'm under your roof, do what you want to do. I'm not saying I don't want to hear you smashing. I just say I don't want to hear it under my roof. It's the same as being at work. If I'm sitting here right now and I'm getting Lewinsky'd under the desk, I'm sure my station owner wouldn't want to hear that and wouldn't welcome it. even though it's grown-ups doing grown-up things. I'm discreetly doing it. It's happening under the table. She said, we are not trying to knock down walls at the parents' house. Exactly. Again, you can sneak and freak in a lot of situations. Put that knife away. I'm being... My wife is crazy. She think ain't nobody Lewinsky me under here, woman. First of all, you already know, but but like I'm just saying, like it's certain places that are made for certain things, and I guess the bedroom is made for bedding people. I get that, understandably so. It's just just to each their own in that one. I just wouldn't pull it. Hey, so was the White House. The White House or the Oval Office was a place of business and not a home with a bed in it. And that didn't stop Monica and Bill. That ain't stop. And I got on blue. Anybody putting those stains on my blue sweatsuit? I'm just talking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing about it. Like boundaries, is about fostering like a mutual respect, and responsibility for the household, to get back on track. Like, it's about a mutual respect and, break down the responsibilities of the household. Yeah, if you getting it in your own business with nobody there, all is well. But all would be well. But the Oval Office wasn't his business. It was all our business. It's like me being the president of the studio right now. If I'm the president of the studio, right, I'm the only one in here. I'm in here running everything, pushing buttons, right? I'm running the Oval studio. But I can't come in here. You said we need to get some action going on the station when I'm not here. I get a pass. I ain't fooling with you, E. Diddy. Have my tattoos on nobody's tapes. But she said we can get it in over here at the radio station. She said I get a pass if you just stop by and you be like, you know what? I wanted to back that thing up on you, husband. She said we get a pass. I appreciate that. Salute, heifer. Appreciate it. And I also wanted to make mention to the gender really doesn't make a difference. It shouldn't make a difference. Well, I mean, as far as like whether or not you gonna put them out, yeah, I get it. If you're gonna put anybody out at all, you should show equality across the board. If you can put your son out, you'd be able to put your daughter out. Don't treat her no more softly. She coming here talking crazy. But your son sitting over there like, yes, mama. You know what I mean? But you threatened to put his ass out. Hey, mama niece, what's going on with you? But yeah, so like, you know what I mean? You got to think about these things. Like, as far as like the gender aspect of your dilemma, Mother Hen, which you asked about, like, are you being softer on her because she's a girl versus if she were your son? Man, it shouldn't make a difference with what their gender is, especially in today's society where people identify whatever gender they want to identify with, So it really, you got to kind of remove that from the equation as far as like, trying to balance out, trying to do your checks and balances. Like we said before, yeah, like Carmen said, the aspect of like politely, kindly help her. If you want to put her out, kindly help her find somewhere else to be and make sure that she knows the things that she needs to know from woman to woman because, as she's going out into the world on her own. What are Rudolph? The 6'5" speedster. Those are the things you got to look at, right? You got to look at that. If you're going to help her, you can't base it off whether she a boy or a girl. Because hopefully you would help your son, too, if you put him out. You don't just send him out there to the wolves, regardless who it is, if he's talking crazy or not. That's still your kid. So gender shouldn't play a big a big point in the, it shouldn't be a big deciding factor. That's the words I'm trying to look for, right? It's about teaching about accountability and independence. So that's what you're looking for on either side of the coin, the male or the female or the other side of the coin. It's about teaching them independence and respect for self and for, what their belongings are and will be. Let them know you always there for them to reach out to you now that they got their own and they don't have to follow your rules, but you can still call on me to find out how to make your own rules, son or daughter. Find out, help them make their own parameters. If they know where your guns are in the house, make sure they know where theirs are in their house, and you know where they are in their house. In case you need to get to where they need to get to when stuff needs to be gotten to. Make sure anything that you would teach them in your home, that you pass that on to them in theirs. That would be the one thing I would say, don't just send them out there to the wolves. Always be a willing and, not only willing, but an eager teacher of your offspring. We never too old to learn something new. Like they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks and all that. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I taught my dog how to catch. And he 100 years old. Not 100, but he old. He about 70, 80 years old. And I just taught him how to catch, maybe the last 2 years. So you can teach an older dog new tricks. So, don't be ashamed to still tell your kids, hey, you can still call on me. But if you're going to stay in the house with me, let's talk about where we can meet in the middle about where we don't need this to be an issue anymore. Not say we meet in the middle as equals, but we meet in the middle of this conversation as being two equal participants in it. We're equal participants in our conversation, so we can definitely meet in the middle. Meaning, I'm going to sit and listen to you on why you feel the way you feel, and I'm going to absorb it. I'm going to take it all in. But you're going to sit and listen to me on why I feel the way I feel. And it's my crib, so ultimately, yes, I will, my answers will probably be the end all be all, but there may be some room for compromise in there if we both willing to sit down at the table and communicate open-mindedly. In the event they stand. If they stand at the crib, if they stand there and they're not moving out, you're not putting them out, then you got to be able to meet in the middle and have a sit down. Because again, what I always say, communication is the number one tool to being able to understand and work with people. And when I say communication, I don't mean you just talk. I mean, you listen to absorb what they are talking about, because you would hope that they're doing the same when you're doing the talking. So don't be listening to respond, listen to absorb. I say it every week. That's going to be that's going to always be one of my tips and tools to help people get through their issues. You got to be willing to communicate with where the issue is. Meet the river at the stream. You know what I mean? Find out why the directions are going differently and see how we can make this happen. You got to sit down with your daughter, Mother Hen, and give an open and honest conversation about what your expectations are, about what your boundaries are. Yes, these conversations do need to happen more in households, Ray Butler, because if we talk about them early, then they won't even have to be misunderstood later on. What's going on, Twin Taylor? They don't have to be misunderstood later on. If you sit down and talk to your children about, in the event that you ever move back in my house, that these same rules apply. Have the conversation early. Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? If you prepare properly, then you good to go. You on board. You rocking and rolling. Give your offspring a reason to say, hey, I love being able to communicate with my mom. I love being able to talk with my dad because I feel heard. All people want to do is feel heard. What's going on, Sonya Murray? All people want to do is feel heard. And when they do feel like they're being heard, then that allows them to be able to contribute to the listening as well. Because if people think they're not being heard, they're going to have this on. They're going to put on earmuffs. They're going to put their middle fingers in their ears. If they don't feel like you listening to them, they definitely not going to listen to you. They definitely not going to say, what? Okay, I'll listen to what your advice is, but you don't want to hear what my issue is. You know, so you have to be willing to communicate with them, right? Talk to them. Sit down with your daughter. What you say your name? Mother Hen. Sit down with your daughter, right? And to have this conversation. People say it's a tough conversation. No, it's not. If you go in with the mindset like I'm really about to sit down and listen to what she got to say, and I may even take some of that, into consideration, then you've already partially won. And I get that, Ray Butler. You're your kid's mentor, not their friend. But in being a mentor, you also have to teach them how to properly communicate. And that first starts with you communicating with them. If I'm a true product of this, like if you fuss at your kids, they gonna go into the world fussing. If you talk chill with your kids, they gonna go into the world talking chill with people. So if you really openly communicate with your children, then they'll learn to openly communicate not only with you, but with everybody else that they encounter. It's a learned skill because everybody doesn't have it. Everybody doesn't have the communicative gene, but everybody can learn to communicate. Some people do it naturally. Some people have to learn it. So if you learn it, then you can teach it. Anything you can learn, you can teach. I'm a firm believer in that. If I learn how to do something, if you learn how to do something, you can turn around and teach it. Because you're going to do nothing but get the same steps that you just learned. So you teach them how to tie their shoe, teach them how to communicate properly. By communicating with them in an open fashion. Blow their minds, especially as adults. When they think that they grown, you know what I mean? Or you feel like they to the point where they think that they're grown. Show them like, hey, let's have a grown-up conversation, which means that both of us are going to listen. Both of us are going to consider what we just absorbed and heard. And both of us are going to openly and honestly communicate with the other and talk. Let's learn how to do that together with each other. Then that's when these conversations in households will start to really make an impact. When we learn how to communicate with each other. Of course you're going to remind them during this conversation that living under your rules comes with certain responsibilities and expectations. And you're going to start with that, but you don't want to lose them at that. So if you let them talk first and you show them that you are actively absorbing what they're saying and they actually feel heard. When you let them feel heard, then they'll start to listen to you and really hear what you're saying. I promise you, try it out. It worked for me. One of my daughters is the most stubborn communicator. Was the most stubborn communicator in the world. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. We never had any beef, but when it came time to sharing and communicating, was a no-go. Until I finally let her know, like, it's no judgment here. I don't own a gavel, so I can't judge you. I've never been to law school. I can't judge you, right? And then once I sat down and showed her that I'm willing to listen, what's up, MVP Speaks? I'll be at your play tomorrow, girlie. Once I told her I was willing to sit down and listen, then she actually started listening to me and really communicating with me. And now I'll be like, dang, I kind of wish I wouldn't have opened that floodgate. Because I'm lying. Pooh, I'm lying. You already know. Talk to me about anything, baby. Talk about anything. Because she'll tell me it all now. She can give me all the business now. All of it. I'll be like, do I really want to hear this? Do I really want to hear this? Is she supposed to tell me this? But yeah, she is. She's supposed to feel comfortable telling me this. Anything in the world. Because as a parent, especially as a father, my job and definition as both father and or husband is to be a protector and a provider, right? So I provide you with an open ear to help protect you from places you may go unprotected and fall or be hurt. So part of that is being willing to listen to them. and show them that. So it's not all about wanting to put your daughter out because she, you don't think she want to live by your rules. After this conversation, if she can't understand why the rules exist the way they do, and that you're willing to help her get somewhere else if she don't want to listen and follow those rules, and it's no beef about it, and don't let it be friction when you talk about these things. Like, I'll help you find your own place. Let's go look right now. Let find the paper. No. Go on apartments.com right now. No, not that. Peacefully help them find somewhere. Let them know that you're there to support them in what they're looking for. That your input is, willing if they want it. You're willing to give the input if they want it. So that may give them that sense of responsibility, not like you putting them out, like you helping them find somewhere to go, to live. You help them find their first apartment. And don't be all critical of everything. Like, they may want to find somewhere that's got, close to somewhere that they like to hang out or close to their job. You may not really love the neighborhood, so don't be all, they don't want to live over here, this is the hood, da, 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 da. But, you just let them know, like, just so you know, the people that live over here are going to be the same ones at the grocery store with you. There's certain ways to deliver the message. It's never the message that rubs people the wrong way. It's the delivery. So deliver it in a way that you would want to hear it, or that they would want to hear it. They're your child. You know what they rock with. You know what pushes their buttons. So don't go in there pushing them. Go in there wanting them to absorb what you got, because once you piss somebody off, they wah wah. You sound like the Charlie Brown teacher then. Wah 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 wah. You talking, but they don't hear it. Anything you saying, they muffled. It's muffled. So you got to be willing to be an open communicator if you really want to get beyond this situation, Miss Mother Hen. If you really want to get beyond this and say, like, hey, daughter, let's sit down and have a talk. Like, no beef, sit down and chop it up. You can be in your pajamas, whatever. What up, Bolo? You could be in your pajamas and have this conversation with each other. You know what I mean? Let it be a comfortable conversation. You don't want any friction involved in this conversation, because you want it to be received and delivered with the most amount of love as possible, because it's your child. You love them. You love them. So you don't want them to feel as if like it's a burden to you to be able to hear them out. That's my point today, y'all. Like, it's a transitional period for both of y'all. She used to living on her own. Now she living with you. You used to having an empty nest, probably. You didn't mention any other children live there, but you used to have an empty nest. Now you probably got a little issue because you can't get your freak on, Mother Hen. Is that the issue? Because I ain't hear nothing about your husband. All I heard was about you and your daughter, but you feel is y'all's home. So I may need a little more information on that out of there, out you. I ain't hear nothing about no other moving parts. So is she putting a cramp on? You want to put her out so you can get your, hey, whatever. If you don't feel comfortable getting your freak on in your own house with your kid there, then they got to go. Or they can send them on a staycation or something. Like, whatever it costs to you, make it happen, y'all. So again, y'all, remember, if y'all going through a situation like this, understand a few things. Like, don't talk to each other crazy. Be open communicators. Understand that it's a transitional period for everybody involved. And, certainly never make anybody feel like they're unloved, especially if they're your child. Like, that is too much of that going on in the world. And if you know, if you one of my children and you living under my roof, ain't no smashing in my house with me. That's all I got to say. What'd you say? Getting out of the car. I love you. Talk to you soon. Thank you, Mama Nee. But yeah, that's it, y'all. That's the end of Holla at the Homie today. I appreciate everybody for tuning in and tapping in. And again, if you ever got any questions, concerns, or anything like that, drop me a line. Hit me up at hollaatthehomie@gmail.com. That's HOLLA ATTHAHOMIE@gmail.com. Shoot me a letter. Shoot me a quick note. If you got my number, text me. If you got my IG and my Facebook, shoot me a DM. We can get all these questions asked. Don't have to be no long, drawn-out letter. You can just ask a straight-up question. We may be able to get through a few of them on the same day if they related to one another. So, again, I appreciate everybody who tunes in and taps in on a weekly basis. I forgot to say, last week, I celebrated 1 year. Last week was 1 year of Holla at the Homie being independent and on the air. So I'll say this week, because I know I missed a week or two in between with all my surgeries getting sliced on between July and March. But it's 1 year. Holla at the Homie started April of 2023 independently as a full show. And here we are, April of 2024. So 1 year in the books. Y'all been Holla at the Homie. So until next week, I'm going to holla at y'all in a minute.